back to another video. My hair's such a mess, but I'm just about to go out. I'm going to see my friend for a bit. I haven't seen her for a while, so that's hopefully going to be nice. And the theme of this video probably isn't going to have one. It might just be like random, or we shall see. But the first one I'm actually going to start reading is my Woman's Battles and Transformations by Edward Louis. It's very, very slim. It's very like small like writing as well. I want to read this because I have read 2 Louis works this year, one I think last year or maybe the year before, and I really want to get to Change, which is, I can't see it at the moment, but this is the next one in his bibliography, and then I can go on to that, but I do still really want to read it. So yeah, I'm going to start this on the buses. Also, I've got a massive pile of books to give to my friend, or if I can pick them up. So I'm going to do that first, and then we're going to go out and see what to do. Hey, I thought this was a little update. So, Women's Battles on Transformations by Edouard Louis, as you're translated from French by Tash Al. I have since read this on the day I showed, which was I think 2 days ago. I read like 26 pages when I was out. And then I had like a nice day out with my friend, went to like Epping Forest like a little bit, and then they went to a Witherspoon to have like a meal with some drinks and stuff, and just like catching up, and yeah, it was just like really nice to see you again. But yeah, I really was enjoying this so much. And then yesterday I went back over what I had already read and like annotated a little bit, just like not like actually writing. When I annotate, I don't really annotate, I just like write over it kind of, and like do stars and stuff for like really good quotes or like moments and things like that. But yeah, so I went back over it, and then I just basically read the whole thing yesterday, and I finished it like in the early hours of today kind of. Really good. I think I set them a 4.75 stars. I'll tell you kind of what it's about later on, and I do need to get back to other books, or I will decide on a new book to start. I'm not too sure, but review coming soon. Today's my mum's birthday, so just done some cards and some wrapping up some presents and things, and yeah, just gonna have like a nice day with her basically, and maybe watch some things, to bake her like a cake or something like that, and do a nice meal, run a nice bath, and just like basically just treat her and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. Probably won't film that much today, or maybe anything, just because it's a family day. But yeah, I shall see you soon. Yay! So I should be reviewing A Woman's Battles and Transformations. Honestly, I don't really know what to say, because like, I'll just do it now. I think you should definitely read this book. It is amazing. The writing is exquisite. It's just so well written and so like razor sharp, and uses like a small amount of words to tell the story of his mother, basically. It's hard to categorize in a way, because I've read all the books before this publication, and I've only got one more that has been translated into English, Changed by him, which I said I wanted to read when I picked it up, right? And then he has a new book coming out in January, I believe, or February, that I would very much like to get, called Monique Escapes, and that would follow on from this, much like Change follows on from his first work, End of Eddie. But he is like an auto-fiction writer, channels a line of sort of memoirist with I guess fictionalizing some parts of his life, and I do really enjoy his books. This is the third one this year. Yeah, I said 4.75 stars. I think maybe sometimes things was repeated a little bit, and also some parts of the pacing is a bit like quick, and you're like, oh well, step back a bit, I kind of want to know a bit more about that. So it's not a full 5, but it is really close. It's definitely one of my favorite of the year so far. It's so good. But yeah, it's basically, well, my brain is just so like tangents, but like I was saying, I don't know what to classify it as, because like I read up like, can someone write a memoir about someone else? And you can't, because like it's inherently fictionalized in some sense, because well, it's not coming from you, the priority or the topic, I guess, of the book. But it does feel like that. It's like, it feels like a memoir by Louis about his mother, but basically just like telling about her life when she grew up a little bit, living like her life before being with his father, and the family unit, and like growing up with quite bad poverty in the north of France, in quite like a suffocating existence, and then her route to freedom and transformation, in a sense, and their like bond and their relationship, and how it grows from in some sense, the moment of their separation, exploring their separation, and sort of like moving up the social and class ladder in some sense, and talks about like poverty and classism, and like misogyny, and being like, it's a woman's tale, and he writes about like, can he really like get to grips with and write a woman's story when he is perceived as a male in a way. But yeah, also about like he is gay, and like his struggles with his sexuality in a little bit, but they're the focus of other books, so it's not like negative. So like him being gay, and her being a woman in a way, and not having much money to escape the life that she was leading, and how they're both sort of losers in a general sense, but the changes, I guess. But yeah, I think this was really good, and so well to read, and I cannot wait to get to Change. Maybe before the end of the year, I might keep it for next year. But yeah, next, I don't really know what to do, because I did start No, Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson in the last video, and I'm about like 35-40% through page 186, and it's like 420 or something. So I may go back to this soon, probably not tonight. And the other book that I also started this month, or at the end of the last month actually, is Joe Lyce's Art Hole, which is a really big book. I'm just about 40% through this as well. So like, it's heavy because it's like an art book, and there's like pictures, but also a lot of like text, like you like read a lot as well. So class as a proper book like thing, but this isn't being read for this video because I didn't start it. However, Not Quite Dead Yet might, because it is a continuation of the last one. I'm just chatting. The theme of this month is like 5-star anticipation books, because this was a 5-star anticipation because of how I've enjoyed all the other books I've read by him, and now in a sense because I did randomly pick this and I really enjoying the start of this, it is a 5-star prediction. So what I'm going to do is I've already done it actually, but I've got all the paperbacks of my 25 and 2025 that I haven't read yet, because I fancy a paperback just because of like how heavy this feels. I want something nice on my wrist because it's just like, ugh. But yes, I put them all on a little spinner wheel. I have read, I can't remember how many of my 25 I've read so far this year. Not many. But I would like to get to all of them, and because they're my anticipated reads, they are 5-star hopefuls. So I've got all 8 left on here. I have put them in, shuffled it quite a few times, and I'm gonna pick one. I have got the Poppy one here. If it comes up, I may just instantly use my respin card. I do want to read it. It's on there for a reason, but it's massive. So yeah, also because I might be going out tomorrow or the day after or soon, I prefer to take a paperback with me if I do. So let's see what we get. Okay, I don't know what it is. Because it's firework night, I thought I'd change the music to fireworks. I know why the cage bird sings. Oh my god, yes, I need to read it. Like I put it on the list last year, and I don't think I did the previous year, or I might have done. But it is Maya Angelou, a woman I adore, love her. The first part of her autobiography is in 7 parts, so yeah, I'm gonna start that. Although like it is quite sad and get like, well, I know sort of not her life story, but I've consumed or like watched nearly every video that has been put online on YouTube about her or by her, and like her different like shows and poetry readings and things like that. So I do know, her history and some of it, but yeah, I need to read this, but I need to read it, so let's start it.
No, I can't trust anything that comes out of his mouth.
What you used to do.
So I'm listening to steps, and it's in the book. This is the art book, by the way.
This is where time can just vanish if you take.
Hey, so I feel like I probably should do a bit of an update on I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. I'm just over halfway through page 164, like 310, and this is like the type of book that like some parts are hard to enjoy because of the content, but I am really enjoying her craft and learning her story from her like own words. I have been sort of like annotating a bit. Can I show a page that I actually have? There was a little bit on the other one, and sort of like starring some like really good or like meaningful parts and like some quotes and things, and it's like her wisdom and like the way she like understands things is just so incredible. I adore this woman, and it's like just reading about like certain events and stuff is just really like difficult. But yeah, it's basically her autobiography, the first part of it, when she's a child and she goes to stay with her grandma in Stamps in Arkansas, I believe, in like the American South in the 1930s. And just like the like legacy of like the slave trade and the working conditions and segregation and like the like outward racism like put forward to black people, and just like her family. And then she goes back to stay with her mother in St. Louis, and her mother's lover rapes her when she's 8 years old. And it just like, because he told her that you can't tell anybody about what like happened or I'll kill your brother. And then she does like tell afterwards, and there's like a little bit of like the court scene, and then afterwards he's found dead, and she thinks, okay, it's my voice that led to someone being murdered. And it's just so upsetting because like she was a child, and it's just, oh, some things are just like, yeah. But now she's gone back to Stamps with her 1 year older brother Bailey, and it's just sort of about like the community of the black people in the town, and sort of like the cotton pickers and the place of religion, and sort of like what they preach, and sort of like trying to get through this harsh life of being discriminated against and treated so horribly, because they know they're going to you know, go to God and you know, to heaven. And yeah, I guess like my thoughts aren't really that cohesive at the moment, but I think I've just read quite a large chunk, about 50 pages just now, so I'm gonna pack this for tonight. Thinking of going out tomorrow. I don't know if I'm gonna take, just because like I need to like underline things and stuff, and the pen I've been using, which I don't want to change just yet, I don't actually have the proper lid for it. This is like not the right lid, it's like broken so it can fit it, so I don't think I'll take this. I'm not too sure what book I will take out with me. Possibly A Single Man by Krista Isherwood, because that's the shortest that I have like of my paperback 2025 books, but I will see. But yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna say anything, but this is it's gonna be a high rating, I can tell you that for sure, but I won't jinx anything just yet. See ya soon. Charlton House and like went around some of the gardens. It's all very like wintry and dead. But the house is pretty. It's not really that many rooms open, but still it's nice. And I've been reading the Christopher Isherwood book. Can't remember the name. Goodbye something maybe. Who knows? Who knows? It was literally in my bag. But about like 20 something pages. I'm enjoying it. Like it's a little bit confusing, but it's good, I think. So I'm back now. I thought I'd do a little, very little midway check-in because I am like about halfway through the book. It's 150 something page on my page 80. So A Single Man by Christopher Isherwood. I remember the title. So it's following a professor of English called George, and it's sort of, it's a bit weird because it's like someone looking down on him and like these movements and things, but also it does have the like, it's what he's thinking and stuff like that. And I'm not too sure how long time has passed, but his lover Jim is dead, and it's basically following him on this single day in his life. Sort of like it starts with him waking up and then like going to talking about like the neighborhood, going to the university where he works, so like the drive, and then teaching a class and talking with like some students and some like faculty members and stuff, and then he's gone to like hospital afterwards. It's quite slow pace, very slow pace, I'll say, and I thought it was more about sort of like his relationship and sort of like their love and the grief and things, but it's a lot more about sort of like American life in the 60s when it's set. And yeah, I don't know, it's readable, it's quite well written, and some parts are you know, gives good insight into things, but I'm not particularly loving it, maybe a little bit not what I was fully expecting. And he's like, he always says like someone's race, like what race they are, and like it's sort of like overdone a little bit as well when he's talking about people, and yeah, I don't know, it's okay. I'm gonna continue reading, obviously. It like, some parts are like really insightful and things, but it's just a little bit like getting bogged down in things. I'm just like, move on a bit, you know. So yeah, but we shall see, and I shall update you soon.
Spreading love and setting the world's pussy on fire.
Yes,
With a little bit of a
Feels.
twist. The twist being I'm a man.
Yes, United. But I want you to lose on the weekend. But yes, United.
Typically well. Puts it on her left foot.
Back in front.
Another outstanding goal.
Look at this ball in front. Sandberg.
History
Winners.
is a victorious night.
But now we'll lose. Come on, City. City on top. Why? It's massive. So I'm coming to the end of the book and I've started crying. Can you see? Sorry, the quality's really bad. But yeah, I'm nearly finished, and oh God. I wish yeah. It's not like there's been very emotional parts and sad parts, but this isn't really an emotional part. It's just like, I love this woman. just, oh yeah, I don't know why I took so long to read this book, because I've like had it for a while. I had a different copy as well before, but then I got the whole collection in the Virago publishing sets. Got my hair, but yeah, I'll give you some updates soon, because I'm hopefully gonna finish it tonight. Anyway, look at my glossy eyes. Oh my god, I'm just like, just. I mean, it's not really spoilers, because like, I mean, it's like her life, it's an autobiography, but like, I'm just like, oh, she's a powerhouse of a woman, and yeah, update soon. Excuse the horrible hair, but guys, it's taken 80 books in 2025, but we have finally found a 5-star. Oh my god, just incredible, amazingly written, so much emotion, and so many amazing quotes that just like, you can't explain it, just the way she grasps human condition and circumstances and her history and her story, and just incredible 5-star, no notes. Okay, I do have a few notes, but I don't think they can do anything to bring it down. It's more just like understanding that was sort of the person she was, and the way that like sort of people fought in some sense. A little bit on sort of some xenophobic or racist ideals or thoughts about other races in some sense, but that isn't like the person she became. So yeah, I can't like really say any negatives really about this book whatsoever. Maybe it gets a little bit rushed towards the end, like it does go a little bit faster than the other sections in the book, but honestly, I think it's just incredible, and the way she tells her story, that it feels sort of like fiction. Like, it's not just like boom boom boom, it's just like the way like you just put together is just incredible. And yeah, the quotes in here are just like, some parts are just incredible. Like the first part is from the, I guess sometimes there's an epilogue, I don't know, but I mean sometimes there's a prologue in that, like it's not unnumbered. But the end, when it says, if growing up is painful for the southern black girl, being aware of her displacement is the rust on the razor that threatens her throat. It is an unnecessary insult. And it's just like, that's the like prologue or introduction or something, like, and just the way it goes through, it's just so many parts that are just exceptional. And the title, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, incredible. And like this, I guess, quote or notion can be seen throughout the book in different experiences, sort of like it's applicable to them at that point. And yeah, just I thought it was incredible. Maybe I have more to say a bit soon or tomorrow or whatever, but 5 stars, and I will not be taking that away. Incredible. Give this book a read. Amazing. See ya soon. Okay, so it's later in the day now. Sorry, I've got all books just falling everywhere because I had to get like behind to see my hardbacks of my 25 of 2025 anticipated reads, and I put them all on a separate spinner wheel because I fancy reading like a hardback now. I do still have Not Quite Dead Yet, which I should really get back to, but I don't fancy it. Like, I was loving it, I was really enjoying it, and I do, but I'm not really in the mood for like a mystery thrillery thing, I don't know. I'm in the mood for something a bit more literary, which is primarily what these are. So let's see what thing. Sorry, it's like the lion is weird. But anyway, let's see what we get. Okay, what is that? At certain points we touch. I think at certain points we touch. Because like someone that's like not there. Yes. Yeah, like I mean I need to read it. Like I plan to read this in I think 2022. I think that's when I got it. It's been on my TBR for so long. I got it at Pride in London. It was either 22 or 23. Yeah, 22. From the Aesop Free Queer Library, where they give out books each year for Pride. I didn't go this year because I wasn't in London, so yeah. But I'm gonna get it down. It does seem a bit strange from what I remember, like the timings and stuff, but I think it's gonna be good. This is like really anticipated. This has been on there like the 23 one, I believe, the 24 one, and now the 25. So it's about time I start reading it. So I didn't realise I didn't really need to get it down now because it's the one that's there. It's probably gonna be really dusty. Yeah, that's the book. Yeah, start. So I've read 42 pages. It's like 2 chapters, and like a little bit at the start. And November is shaping up to be one of my best reading months, maybe. I'm not saying anything, I'm not jinxing anything. I'm just saying I'm really, really enjoying it. The writing, the prose, just like the way it's like written, exceptional, very literary. It maybe borders on the pretentious, maybe crosses over, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's just like a talent. And yeah, but I'm going to try to settle now, and I shall tell you about the plot and maybe some other bits when I read some tomorrow. But it's good. It is good.
United 0.
Let's go. Pempy back.
Of that first half for the home side, City 3-0 up against United in this Manchester derby. Clinical, you can see there some of the stats. Manchester City when they had them.
And across the goal as Safi Middleton Patel starts moving her feet in the opposite direction. So that's actually really hard to show, able to
Jade
just capitalise and just create a bit more of a buffer.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Bunny.
think for me, Bunny hasn't really been involved as much in this first half, and that's what she's done most of the season this season so far.
And those connections.
My
Her
favourite
strength running
hemp
with the ball
skull.
and just being able to live off the pass and
Lovely, amazing.
For
No
me,
words,
it's
no
really
notes.
disappointing from Manchester
5
United
stars
point of
all
view.
the
You
way.
have to get up to
Go
the
on,
ball, I think.
Hempo.
When you're
But you can see what the home side are trying to do, just banks of blue shirts for Wales to try and break down.
Hello. So I was going to update you a few days ago, and then also again like between those days, but I have since finished At Certain Points We Touched by Lauren and Joseph. And yeah, I read it in 6 days, which when I actually think about it is actually not too bad, considering it is a bit on the longer end of a literary book, and just the way it's like written, but it does flow as well. But yeah, I did end up really, really, really enjoying this book. Not every aspect, but on the whole, I think it is a great feat of literature. I don't know if I have the energy to give it a review like now or ever, because there's so many like layers to what it sort of does, and like what the author is trying to tackle in some sense with this work. But I think for star rating, it's between a 4.5 and a 5, possibly lower, I'm not sure. I think I'm just gonna put a signpost of a 4.75 at the moment, because when I think about like my other 4.75 star this month, A Woman's Battles and Transformations by Edward Louis, it has that similar level of impact on me, and not necessarily wholly enjoyment, but just like, this is worthy. But then it has a couple setbacks. So yeah, that's for the star rating. The plot is basically following, I think the main character is called JJ, but some people call him La. The sort of main person they're in contact with calls them Bibby. So yeah, I think JJ, and it's never like their gender identity is important to the story and them uncovering it, but it's never like fully like labeled, this is what I am, done and dusted. So I believe them to be non-binary or trans feminine, and they are writing the book as a work of fiction and sort of biography in some sense, about a man called Thomas James, who was their first love. And it like, so the book starts with the prologue of them in Mexico City, and they see that it is the 29th of February, so a leap year, and that is the date of Thomas's birthday. And they say that it's been 10 years since we met, 6 years since we last spoke, and 4 years since you died. And it's written in the like second person you from quite a lot of it, because it's them addressing Thomas after his death, and a way to really come to terms with their grief and the tumultuous relationship they shared over the past decade, in a sense. And then like it goes them trying to tell the story from the start of like after leaving, like at the end of university, and sort of like wanting to make a life for themselves, and getting into this sort of like relationship where Thomas isn't the nicest person, and he is quite like put downy and egotistical, and has his own sort of dealings and issues, and specifically like internalized homophobia and other quite non-liberal in a sense viewpoints on certain things, but the main character sort of loves them and is infatuated with them, and maybe doesn't like them but is in love with them in some sense. And then it like follows them through like going to San Francisco and back to London and to New York and back to London, and then sort of afterwards, and we get a big cast of characters and like just like their different experiences in these different cities and their relationships with the city, and coming back and forth with Thomas and also their friend Adam. And yeah, like I feel like that is what it does. It also talks about sort of like classism in some sense, and trying to, you know, be an artistic person and a writer and have all these thoughts and like things you want to get down and do, but coming from like a working class background and being trans, and just sort of like the previous issues and stuff that you're dealing with, and like on the day-to-day as well. Yeah, I think I've sort of covered quite a lot of what it does. A lot of also talk about grief and like coming to terms with your grief. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like you can honestly write like an essay on this book. Like there is so much in here. The writing style, I think, and also like a big part is you know, the main character understanding their sexuality and gender identity, and coming to terms with certain facts that they don't really want to accept, but they sort of need to continue like living and thriving in a way. Yeah, so I think it does a really great job at exploring that. I was just about to say something. It was like, oh, they're like the sort of writing. It's amazingly written. It is so clear. The author is so clever and well read, and like well in tune with all these sort of like quotes and notions and ideologies and people's thoughts and feelings. And there is so many like references to like art pieces and music and other works of literature, and yeah, like loads of like things like that, which I did enjoy a lot. The writing does feel a little bit pretentious, and that did sort of irk me as the book went along. I was just like, enough of the big words, just come on and tell the story. But it's not sort of like gimmick or anything, or in my view I don't feel like the author is trying to be like, oh, I'm higher than you, I know so much more. It's just their way of writing and understanding like the life and the literature they wish to produce. I feel like there is a few too many sort of quite not graphic, but like it's all on the page sex scenes, which I don't particularly like reading. I think there may be a few too many, and in some ways it cheapens some of the book. But then sort of on the flip side, and also watching a few sort of like interviews that creators have created with the author, they talk about how like sex is quite integral and important to sort of queer lives, and specifically the character of Tom and his understanding of his own sexuality. So I get it, but I do feel like there is a few too many. So yeah, I think this was quite a long review actually, more than I was anticipating to say, but I honestly, like, I did really enjoy this book. I'll definitely check out the author again. Yeah, and also like it's also about sort of like nostalgia moments on like being a millennial, growing up within the like digital world, and about their own sort of relationship with technology and, you know, digital artifacts, and how like if we like get like passwords or things get removed, then we can't get back that thing that we had posted or had been posted by others and stuff like that, where you can with like physical media. And of course it talks about like photos fadings and letters fadings and stuff, but there is the actual physical thing, whereas with digital things they're not there. And sort of I guess like the good and bad as well, with the growth of the internet and the social media age, and how it's sort of changed the way humans communicate and interconnect and stuff. Yeah, just like it does so much. I think like it doesn't, like some books when they try to overachieve, they don't hit all the marks, but I feel like this one does. Maybe it could go into more with each section, but it doesn't really need to. So yeah, I thought it was incredible, and so recommend giving it a read. Great book. I'm a bit worn out from all that mind working and stuff. It's definitely a book that like you can't just sort of like listen. I feel like you need to sit down and get to grips with it. I'm not going through one of my anticipated books, even though I probably should, but I recently got Libby, where you can like borrow books from libraries and stuff. So many of the ones I want to read have like, or listen to primarily because I own a physical copy, but I want to do a tandem read. They have like 30+ people waiting on hold, because there's only like one single copy. I was like, how? Like, it's an audiobook, like it's a file, it's a digital file, like why is there only one? But anyway, so anyway, one of the books I did actually get from there, which I probably should start reading soon, because I think the loan expires in about 10 or so days, and it is 300,000 Kisses by Sean Hewitt, and illustrations by Luke Edward Hall. It's a book I got I think a couple years ago, that I really wanted to read then, but I didn't. So yeah, it's quite short, it's not too long. It's about tales of queer love from the ancient world, and it has these like really nice like illustrations by the illustrator. in it, which are accompanied by stories of, you know, queer love in the ancient world, like it says on the title page, front cover. So yeah, I think I'm gonna read some of this and listen audibly so I can, you know, use the loan and not let it go to waste and stuff. So yeah, that is my next read for now, although I might back and forth between others. Also, like, oh, my hair is so fluffy. Anyway, see ya soon.
For the evening. To put Wales in front, Harry Wilson! Brilliantly placed.
And there's nothing Dimitriescu can do about that. From the red wall, from Craig Bellamy, the boss said this was his type of game.
Wales,
Have
what
been
on
blown away
earth,
in Cardiff.
7.
Wales are heading to the
Amazing.
playoffs in emphatic fashion.
I could have just easily just read the whole thing, but I thought I'd do a little check. I'm about 70% through, I think. I am really loving this book. Again, like, November is popping off. Like, literally, it's been like the best month so far this year, 100%. But like, maybe one of my favorite reading months like I've ever had. Like, all of them apart from like one book that I listened to audibly, but it will come out in the wrap up, have been like great, like 4-star plus, 4.5 star plus. Like, what is going on? But anyway, so this is, it's basically Sean Hewitt is doing the writing and Luke Edward Hall is doing the illustrations. I like the illustrations. I don't love them. I feel like they are maybe a little messy and not like the best, but they are still like a nice addition. They definitely add to the book. Unlike, there's a book it's called Different for Boys by Patrick Ness. I'll put a picture here, that I read, I think 2022, 2023. And like, it also had like blackout, which was sort of gimmicky. The pictures were like this like messy sort of look, and they just added nothing to it, and it was just like, it kind of made me more annoyed with the book. So I was like, it wasn't necessary. But this, whilst I don't think they are the best, I still like them, and they do add to it. And also reading along with the audiobook is helping, specifically with like knowing the character names. But yeah, it's basically just telling the stories of different like Greek myths and the characters within. That is like basically all of them. If you want to pause and like see, and it sort of like has like a little discussion-y point there about sort of some of it's about sort of like the author, about the where that piece or that story comes within their certain text, like what preceded it, maybe sort of a bit like trying to push you to sort of see what it's trying to say, and then afterwards is like I guess the translation done by the author into, you know, modern English of what that piece of literature originally said. And yeah, and then like they have the pictures, illustrations accompanied as well. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. But it's just like seeing these stories through like a queer lens, and it acknowledges the fact that these ancient civilizations and ancient like tech and stuff, the people didn't have the words we have to do it day, like gay and bisexual and transgender and like lesbian, I guess, because obviously we've put the word lesbian from the island of Lesbos, where Sappho wrote and where Sapphic comes from as well. And but even though they may have not said this is what I am, and maybe there's, you know, some discourse on trying to place modern terms on ancient people, there is still the, like, you can understand from a humanity perspective of this is the type of love they were talking about, this was their identity, and this is like their thoughts and feelings and stuff. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I think I'm probably just gonna finish it tonight. I've read a lot today, but I feel like it would be quite good to finish it because I do really badly want to get back to it, to be honest, and learn about more stories. Maybe I'm going a little bit too fast, if I'm completely honest. Like, I feel like it's possibly one that would have been better to come to each story and then like, really just like trying to get to grips with it and maybe like read a bit more around the subject, but I'm still really enjoying it and stuff. So yeah, and it also acknowledges the fact that like the characters, not all of them are good people, and some of them, their love is this heartfelt sort of like higher love in the sense of that like this like people becoming whole, but there's also some that like do deal with like pedestry, I think it was called, sort of about like an older adult male used to couple with like a younger like teenager or sometimes younger male, and how like through our lens that is completely wrong and disgusting, but like it deals with like the fact that that was sort of normalized to an extent, and yeah, but yeah, overall I feel like I can keep talking so long about when I do updates, but I'm glad I did one not right at the end, and I'll see how I feel at the end. I feel like it's probably going to be basically the same, but yeah, so I'm not really saying like too much about each of the stories. This one I really liked. It's called A Field of Kisses, and it's sort of where the title comes from, and yeah, like that's like a nice one as well, the illustration. But I'll just quickly read like what the original text was. It was from Catullus, and his like poem, or this section, was: steeped in honey, Juventius, your golden eyes, and they're sweet too, when I press my lips to them, 300,000 kisses is not close to enough. Even if I plucked each kiss like an amber grain from a ripe, sun-warmed field in late summer, sheaves and sheaves of them, my love, it would not be enough. And yeah, I'm just like, oh, nice. So yeah, I shall see you soon. Let's go. I've literally been at this for like half an hour. Like, bitch, come on! John Lewis Waitrose, come, what the, oh my lord above.
And
No.
notice
And
the
again.
colour is different, but this is due to the natural properties of
Hi. God, I look terrible. I finished, oh my lord, literally, oh, just fine. Finished 300,000 kisses last night. Oh my, it is so cold today. And yeah, I did still ended up really enjoying it. I don't really have anything else to say. Like, it's basically just, you know, an anthology of these different tales from the ancient world. I think I'm gonna settle on a 4.5 star rating. I think maybe the ratio or like lack of inclusion of enough sapphic and like lesbian retellings or understandings of text is maybe lacking in the book, and also maybe a few other like queer identities, but I think overall it was very good, very enjoyable for the most part, and also like just learned things, also like knowing these stories and like the way they came and stuff. So yeah, I would so recommend it. Definitely gonna read more by Sean Hewitt. I read Open Heaven earlier this year. I think I gave that 3.75 stars, but I do have his memoir, which I do want to read soon as well, which I've been meaning to read for quite a while. But yeah, so I finished that last night. Haven't read anything else thus far today. And I'll try to do some like job hunting and stuff. It's always so long. Like all the things have like so many like questions and situation adjustment and, you know, personality tests and all that stuff, and it's just like, oh, like each one takes like over half an hour, and like even if it's the same company, you have to do like a same like role or whatever with, like for a different store, you have to do that the whole thing again. I'm just like, just copy it over. Like, why is my answers gonna change? Like, anyway, but I feel like doing a bit of reading, so I'm a little bit burnt out from doing that. So going back to the spinner wheel, I thought I might choose a new hardback, so I'm going to do my spinner wheel and see what book we get to read next. What's that? So I got Secret Life of Albert Einstein by Matt Cain. I want to read this book so bad. I need to read it for like since I got it. I think in 2023. I think that's when I bought it. But I've been trying to pace myself for my Matt Cains because I always loved them. And he didn't have a new book come out this year, and I don't know if he has a new one coming out next year. Oh my gosh. But I don't know if I should do a singular reading vlog for this book, because I've done the same with Madonna Bolton and One Love by him. So I think that is what I may do, and then when I finish it, it will go up like before this comes out probably, and then like it'll just be a break in this video because it's long already. Like, it's very, very long, and I feel like I'm probably gonna have a lot to say about that book. So yeah, I'm super, super excited to start it, but that would be in a separate video, which I will link like now, and we shall come back to this video when it has been read, and I won't do any spoilers, or maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I shall see you probably in a few days. We'll see. Bye for now. There he is. Majestic. Okay, so it is Wicked Day, 21st of November. So I'm gonna go out today. I'm gonna listen to the new soundtrack. I'm not gonna see the film yet. I don't know when. I do want to, but I feel like the first like few days is gonna be like really, really busy, so I'll wait a bit. But I'm gonna listen to the soundtrack today. I'm gonna start reading a bit more of A Single Man. Like I said, I'm about 50% through, so see how much I get read today whilst I'm out on the buses and stuff, and then I might try and just like finish it before doing the update or whatever. But if I have any clips to show, I'll put them in now. So today it was okay. It's just like London's just so busy. I just hate it. But yeah, Wicked, For Good album. Love it, love it, love it. Oh my god, For Good, the final song. But so good, so good. But I'm gonna watch my first ever second city derby, Aston Villa versus Birmingham City. And that's gonna be exciting. So it's gonna start like basically starting now, so he's get changed and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Hey, so I finished A Single Man. Yeah, the night before last, I think. Yeah, because I went out and I read quite a lot whilst I was out on the buses again, because it's just my bus book. And then I came back and finished the last like 30 something pages, and I read the introduction by Tom Ford. Yep, who made a film version of it. I want to say in 2009, or it might have been. I might have just made that up, I can't remember. But anyway, I might actually watch the film and see maybe the differences and stuff. But yeah, so I haven't really said too much about this, but oh my god, I look so like ill. Anyways, so I don't know. I think I'll probably give it like a 3.5. Like, it's good. It's well written. A little bit confusing sometimes. It's okay. I didn't love it like I was expecting. I thought maybe it was okay. No, I mean, I kind of guess from here it says about with devastating clarity and humor, Christopher Isherwood shows George's determination to carry on, invoking the unexpected pleasures of life as well as the soul's ability to triumph over loss and alienation. Yeah. And yeah, okay, yeah. I thought maybe it was going to be a bit more about the relationship and I guess just sort of them, you know, living their queer gay lives up until the point of Jim's death, and sort of like the aftermath and things and stuff. And it definitely does deal with his grief, maybe not as explicitly as, like I said before, it is more of a well, not more of per se, but like from what I got out of it and what I was reading, it felt like an exploration of just American life in the 60s, and I guess the change in world and the viewpoints and the like you know, the boom in a sense of post World War II USA, and like places changing and populations growing and buildings being built and this sort of stuff, and that, like, I guess in the multicultural like land sense and different people you meet and stuff. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, it was fine, and like I did quite like the inclusion of Charlotte, or Charlie as he calls her, an old friend who I believe she's English, and she is came from England to USA, well, the same as what the author and the main character George did. And yeah, it's good. I'd recommend it. I didn't love it. I feel like it was fine. It's not really sort of like, I'm not trying to feel like it's like a bummer on this episode or anything, because it's not. I feel like maybe if I had read it in a different month, without some of the amazing books I read, I might have liked it more, and it might have just had like, oh my god, that's so good, like I've been pining for something so good. But yeah, it was fine. It was decent. Yeah, I'll probably put it 3 stars maybe on Goodreads, or maybe 4, I don't know, I'll see. Anyways, for my other video, I am not too far from finishing Secret Life of Albert Einstein. I know I probably should have put it in here because I mean I did pick it for it, but yeah, but I don't know when if that's come out yet. No, it probably would have done, but I don't particularly know if I'm gonna read anything else for this video yet. I shall see, because it's the 26th, I think, of November. So yeah, I do have like quite a few days left of the month, but I shall see, because obviously I need to finish Albert Entwistle. I keep calling it Entwistle, but it's not. It's like Entwistle. I need to like actually find out how to pronounce his last name. I keep putting like an I in there, and obviously I keep saying about Not Quite Dead Yet, which I may go back to. But anyway, that was a little update, and I shall be coming. Oh my lord, I shall see you soon.
The UK's next drag race superstar, Bones.
Too many options here. Well, closed down by Jeff. Feed that ball forward to Chelsea.
Against China, and one clean sheet as well. Look at all these absolute heroes getting on the score sheet.
We're very happy. I think the most important thing is that we started fast.
Hey, so it's now like the 3rd of December, so obviously all the content's finished now for this month, and I read 5 books, and the average rating for all of them that I read for this particular video was a 4.5, which isn't the best. Like, the best was February, March, but that's because I only read 1 book for that video, but it's the best, like, more, I guess, overall rating of what I read, and I'm actually really happy about that. Like it's a good one. Like, I want to be 4 and above, so that's good. For the like statistics and numbers, I read 7 books physically in November, and I hauled 4. So that means we are in the negative once again for the 2nd time this year, with a -3. Not too much, but it's still a -3 nonetheless. And that brings my total of unread TBR books from 1,313 to 1,310. Still an obscene number, but we're cutting into it a bit better than we did before. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's quite long. I did read quite a lot of like books I really enjoyed, so I'm so happy about that. And yeah, overall, like, I would recommend all of them. But yeah, I know when the Cage Bird scenes were just so good. And yeah, I shall be seeing you for the December one. I plan to try and do the same like system of reading my 25 or 2025 books in that month, but I do also have other plans as well because I'm trying to do Bookmas, so we shall see. But anyway, have a nice waving night wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you very soon. Bye.